Okay, Pep, now it's Sunday, the festival is over, and on the airport we are making an interview. It was great week. You gave so much great energy, and the vibration is felt throughout the Novo mesto and broader. Tell me, you are part of the NUR agency. Before you were Panos, right?
Yes. The big change of NUR and Panos is that we own our own agency, and that we do take care of our directions. We are a small group of people. We all work in long-term projects. We all have visions on how things should be, and the main thing of NUR is first was to create a family, you know, of people we trust, people that we care about the issues we photograph. And then was to make a model of business that would work for us.
Is it your NUR is very well working with NGOs, with human rights? I mean, NGOs that are dealing with human rights. Do you think that nowadays the magazines are in, let's say, crisis? Do you think that NGO is a sort of a good alternative?
Yeah, well, the magazines are in crisis, but NGOs are in crisis too. I mean, the nice thing of NGOs is that most of the times you can work longer on the subject. They have less preconceived ideas than magazines, and they have less expectations from you. So I think it's a pretty good deal if you can use the logistics of a good NGO to go to the field and really photograph what you think is important. And still, you can always try with the magazine anyway afterwards. Definitely. But I think it's from a logistic point of view and from a productive point of view, I think it's more interesting to work with an NGO than with a magazine, because nowadays any magazines will assign you for 1 month on one subject.
What about NGOs are now a very big player? Let's say if we are watching World Press Photo, Eugene Smith Award, basically every major award work that is winning is very largely funded by NGOs. Of course, because of the issues that you because of the reasons that you just said. But my question is, what about how did NGO affect the agenda of the news, you know, in magazines actually?
No, I don't think it affects the agenda, because news photographers are news photographers, and it's people that go in and out telling the news. I think what we do, at least what I do, has nothing to do with the news, or I never shot any news. So I don't think I think they work together. They could work together pretty good. I don't think they step on each other's territory, because it's different approaches, different ways of doing things.
But on your lecture you said that you're really happy that your Honduras story, your latest huge success that you had with your Honduras story, you were sort of the first who were talking about transvestites in Honduras, and that your work pulled the whole reaction of the public, plus also the news actually. That's also, let's say, not directly but indirectly.
Yeah, no, I mean, in a way, yeah, Honduras has never been published. It's a story that never been in a magazine. Only the first part was a little bit published in Newsweek Japan.
All right.
But still, it's if it was in the news, it was because of the World Press Photo Award.
Right.
You know, because it's a very good platform to pass the message. You know?
Yeah. And exactly. I mean, the question about Honduras story was, we were all stunned by the quality. I mean, of course we know from the World Press Photo pictures, but that was like a small selection. You show like broader work, a broader piece of work, and also you described how you've done it. I think it was one of the, if not, was it the first project that you really did a lot in post-production, sort of like?
Yeah, it's a word that it has a signature of its own, and we worked very hard on that, you know, because we wanted to have that look, that real look of like fashion and glamorous, and because we thought it fitted the subject very well. So yeah, we made a lot of tests on dirty papers and dust, and we also use old glass plates to get out the frames and stuff like this. Yeah.
So, as I understood you put the paper out on the sun to leave the dust together. But what then? When you print it out, did you scan the result, the print with the dust?
No, at the end, what worked better was to make these papers, scan them,
Right,
and in Photoshop we put together the image and the paper.
Yeah.
Because the problem, if you print on dirty papers, the printers get dirty.
Yeah. Concerning the post-production documentary photography, for me personally, Francesco Zizola made a huge, let's say, huge step. It's like sort of a milestone in documentary photography. Since you're both in the same agency, did that also influence you?
Yeah, I mean, I love Francesco's work, not only because of the color and the post-production, also because of his photography, you know.
Definitely, yeah.
But I think it's a new language, and I think it's because we have new tools that we didn't have before. I think we have to take advantage of that, you know. I mean, it depends. I think every story requires a different approach.
Yeah.
I think, you know, some things that are like Honduras stuff, which is really like portraiture, you know, it's like portraying.
Yeah.
I think you have more freedom than if you go to shoot news, you know.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do that with a news story, you know.
Many photographers are sticking to one, let's say, one technique, but you're like, surfing.
It's because I like photographic languages, and I don't want to be stuck in one. I think photographers should be flexible, like all-terrain, you know. They should be. I mean, it would be too easy for me to keep on repeating my aesthetics of Sierra Leone or my aesthetics of Honduras and keep on doing that, you know. Once you know how to do it, then it's very easy, but it's like repetitive, you know. I don't like sometimes that I recognize people's pictures at first, you know. Sometimes this can be an issue for me because then it doesn't show a learning process for me. So for me, photography is a lot about learning.
Your work is from Africa and South America. But you said also that you very much appreciate the work of photographers that are working in their home environment. Can you tell us a little bit how is that different? And
yeah, for me to work normally it has to do with traveling. So going outside, I normally don't work at home because I don't sit. Actually, now in August it's going to be the first time that I'm going to be shooting in Mallorca, in my own country. So I'm not against it. It's just that I think it's a lot tougher to get inspiration, to get your work in rhythm, to get, you know, when you travel, there are no phone, no internet, no nothing, you know, no things in between that disturb, you know, like the rhythm of the work. So, and also the stories that I like to photograph doesn't happen in my home country.
You're, let's say, a big star from, let's say, Perpignan and other huge festivals, Foto España and so on, Norderlicht. And now you're coming from Fotopub, a small, almost micro festival from Novo Mesto. How can you compare that, and what's, let's say, advantage? How would you compare like those big festivals with small festivals of documentary photography?
It's all about the input also. I think small festivals have the same as big festivals, but they are smaller, you know. And sometimes it's also nice that photographers like Fotopub are there because you get the chance to really talk to people, see people, meet people, be together for a week. Of course you can do that in Perpignan or things like that, but it's a lot more massive. I think photographers are there, you know, for people to look at them, participate, and growing it's about it's the people itself that make it grow, you know. So if you really want the festival to grow, you just make it nice, and the people itself makes it grow.
Okay, thank you very much. You definitely gave your input and exceeded all our expectations. So thanks a lot.
Oh, thank you. By the way, this is a hangover interview.
Well, that's why it's Fotopub, pub and photography.